following Matthias right now, so there's another interesting thing that we're going to see here. This is actually from the start.
This is from the start. This is Heinz Dick, the founder of the company.
Yes.
So it's like Bill Gates, he started in the garage with 3 others. And now you can see the color change, so it's becoming green. It's my turn since 2012. The focus here is really technology centered. And now we are entering the system test. The test bed, it's a bit noisy. I think the system now is running since more than 4 years without interruption. We need to do long-term tests and so on.
So this system is running 4 years, without interruption.
Yeah. Everything is checked here. This is highly integrated, also with the switching, with all the necessary load tests we are doing. It's not somebody sitting there with having radios, it's all simulated. To get this heavy load, we need to be sure that our software is without any problems. See a rack with a lot of radios included.
Yes. It's over there, right?
Yes, this is to generate traffic load, real traffic load, randomized and so on. Yeah? So it's not everything simulated by simulation software. It's also with real radios we are testing load to a certain set for certain testing.
Before I start, I just want to mention that in the car when I was driving here to Germany, I already talked a little bit about Roden Schwartz, the old days. I talked about Hytera Mobilfunk, part of the Hytera group, and now I see this change on the website, different colors, different signings, different appearances on the exhibitions. So there must be something going on. And now I'm here with you, and we're going to talk about the change in the industry, the change within the Hytera group, and about a new name. You want to send a certain message, right, with HMF? All right.
Absolutely, Gerd. This is something we have developed over the last 2 years about to react on what happens in the market. So everybody's talking about, well, broadband is coming, 3G, 4G, 5G now. Since 2015, and not much happened. So we have seen some projects in the UK, for example, and they are still in the middle of implementing it. But we can see more and more demands from the market where customers really want to benefit from the now existing technology. So it took many years to develop the things, and it's still not over. We have seen first developments on that new technologies. Example is in the UK with this project migrating to broadband. They wanted to launch it 2020 something, but it now looks like 2026. Anyhow, there is a lot of progress on technologies, and also the demand on things we in the private life have every day, all day. Also professional customers want to use it, and now it's time to change. So no question, it's to our industry, it's disruptive, no question. But luckily, we are in a very conservative and slowly moving industry. So we have plenty of time to prepare ourselves to be also a leading provider for this kind of technologies.
With HMF, you're stating something, right? Different colors, different name. So that's the start of the transition, can I say that?
Yeah, absolutely right. So with our history, we always have been the provider for infrastructure. And when we became Hytera 10 years ago, roughly, we also got this opportunity to establish a brand in Europe. Nobody knows Hytera before in the early years, 2012. So it was one major task to establish this brand, and that means, of course, also being a channel business partner, a provider for radios, let's say box moving business. Mm-hmm. And since we are now in this phase where the technology changed, also not only in terms of theory, also in terms of business, we decided to focus more on this part of the business. So we have split it, the 2 business segments we had before, infrastructure, projects, and distribution of radios to the market. And now HMF is focusing more strictly to this project-based business.
So that means that still TETRA is also for the coming years the technology that you will implement with your customers?
Yes, of course, and we believe it will be for at least this decade a good business to everybody.
Yeah.
In Europe, we can see some changes. We have a high degree on saturation here in Europe. Most customers have already digital systems, and now we're talking about replacement of 10-year-old infrastructure systems. Mm. But there are many regions in the world which still are going analog today. You know that we have a subsidiary in Latin America, in Peru. Yep. And we can see a lot of business opportunities there, and this is of course good because we have somehow to finance this new technology developments. Yeah? And therefore we think for at least 10 years TETRA technology, and maybe beyond that, will be the solution for anybody who needs a private network.
Yeah. But new disruptive technologies, we talk about 5G, so that is going to be the focus of HMF? Yeah, we have of course learned how it developed, and there is a new opportunity which is called campus networks. I think main driver is Germany in this times, luckily. So providing 5G solutions for the industry, so 3.6 gigahertz and above. Campus really in this sense to have a limited area where you have to provide your service. You can get a license and then you can use your 5G network there to do new things. Yeah? Like smart farming, like Industry 4.0, everything what you can imagine, where you need more focus on data communications, yeah, to implement new things. And the problem is, first, it's a new technology. It's at the beginning of everything. The question is how to earn money with this. It's not just providing equipment. So at the end of the day, people might think it could be a replacement of Wi-Fi technology. You can order at Amazon or somewhere, do it on your own, but it's a different story. You need to provide really service to the customers because it's always a question of integration, of planning. It's not that simple, yeah? Like just having your Wi-Fi like at home. Yeah, but it's not only investment for those companies, for those organizations into the system you're going to deliver. You also, as HMF, needs to transform your complete employee base, probably, right? With different knowledge, different technologies. That means that you're more and more searching in the IT market for personnel, or? So first, we believe it is really a transition to our whole industry. So as I said before, narrowband solutions will be there for at least a decade. But we need to do more business in the future with the new technologies. And the new technologies means you need different skills. So there's more focus on service, more focus on IT, of course. And I think service also in the sense of consultancy to customers, because many customers have heard about these opportunities to benefit on that, but how to bring it to life. Yeah? So if you have customers in the, let's say, Industry 4.0 area, they know exactly what they want. Yeah? Yeah. They want to avoid cabling to all their sensors and robots and so on. But there are many, many others who can benefit from this, and this is also part of our thinking, that we will provide also consultancy to these customers. What you can do with your industry, with your company, with your product manufacturing, whatever, to benefit from this, to at the end of the day save cost. And yes, to bring the real message to the market, it's also the change in our, let's say, branding, colors, web appearance, and so on. All these messages should bring the change to the market, to the customers. Well, that definitely worked out very well. I was very much triggered by the first time you had your new branding online. So that raised at least a question with me, you know, what's going on within the company. Now, if we take a look at all of these new technologies, you're running this company for many, many years. You're a radio man, yes, as far as I know. Does that mean you're taking this company to the next step? Yes, of course. So, you know, I started here with Rohde & Schwarz in 1995. So, and not all the time I'm the CEO. So since 10 years, I'm responsible for everybody here now. And I will do it for a long time. So this is really a nice thing to migrate, to develop something. Yeah? It's not simply going on. It's really to find out how to address the new situation in the right way to survive at the end of the day, because there will be a lot of competition.
We have big players now in this market, so with competitors from Scandinavia, you all know what I mean. And this definitely is a challenge, but you know, we have the experience on that here. We have there is not a big difference between designing and servicing a narrowband network than this kind of things. You need to have the knowledge about, of course, RF. This is what we're doing all day. Yeah. Then also implementing it. It's not that easy to have the right project managers, project engineers out in the fields to implement it in that way. Yeah? It's and it's even more this service aspect which is becoming important there. So since technology changed, our thinking is we need to provide more managed service in this way. So people are just buying capacity from us, and we are doing everything to provide this to the customers.
Do you think there's an advantage of HMF with the background of the company selling mission-critical communication solutions, that you have an advantage on top of other companies, new entries into the market that don't have that experience in mission-critical communications?
Yeah, this is a big difference. At the first view to this kind of technology, it looks like it's like our iPhones and Android radios we are using it in the private segment. But mission critical is a different story. Yeah? So also the services you might get from the public operators are not mission critical. It's of course easy, it's cheap on the one hand, but what doing in case of a problem with the infrastructure? Yeah? So nowadays with having a look at what happened in Ukraine and the cyber attacks coming with this. Yeah? I don't know if you heard it in Germany, a lot of these wind power farms are out of operation because they could not get access to the satellite communication because it was destroyed by this war. So mission critical means you need always to think about what could happen in terms of a failure, whatever source. Yeah? And this is our experience. So we have designed mission critical networks since more or less 40 years now. Yeah. So also the design of the infrastructure, the software in the background is pretty much done in that way to be always available on the services the customer is looking for. Yeah.
So Matthias, HMF, the new name of the company, how much are you independent when we look at the company structure, right? You're still part of the Hytera group.
That's true, Gert. So firstly, the new naming HMF and the new branding and so on, it's just a message for the new thing. Independent of our shareholdership, we are a German company. We are doing all developments in Germany under the German laws and so on. So whatever we are providing to the customers is made in Germany. Of course, we are using the factory in China to develop to manufacture the products there. But all the critical parts of the software and the hardware development are designed and made in Germany. So, and from that perspective, we are a quite normal company. So the influence from China is only based on the financial perspective. Yeah?
Not the knowledge.
Not the knowledge. It's especially after the split to the channel business, we are not dealing with the Chinese products anymore. From DMR, analog, whatever is there. If we have projects, also the new technologies like body-worn cameras, we are also using the product there, but always with infrastructure coming from Europe. Okay. So this is a core message also to the market that whenever you are working with HMF, it's a German company and the products are safe.
Now, there are some challenges at the moment, especially when you see the war in Ukraine. How difficult is it to pursue your dream, taking in mind this war and all of the shortness of supplies and those kind of things? Does that makes a challenge for you?
Yes, of course. Currently, it's very difficult, but it's not that new. Also, last year it was a problem with the supply chain problems we had, and it can only be overcome with a good forecast. So we are, of course, manufacturing in advance products where there is a project which has a high probability to win. And so with this forecast method we implemented, it's not easy, but it's possible to overcome this problem. Of course, everything is more expensive. Shipping costs are going up dramatically, also component costs and so on. It's not limited to the things coming from the pandemic. Also, the factory burn in Japan was bringing problems to many suppliers in this area. Luckily, not to us. Whenever there is a chance to make by redesign overcome this kind, we are doing. So we have own development for hardware and software as well. And so with new designs, you can be more reluctant on this kind of problems.
Yeah. Well, it's not only a challenge for HMF, it's also a challenge for other companies, right? So
Sure.
whatever that doesn't make a big difference, right, for you guys.
That's true.
Yeah, all right.
But it's a question of planning and forecasting.
Yeah. So, Matthias, when we would sit here within 5 years from now, where would you like to be with this company? What is your big dream?
So my dream really is that we are not only providing solutions to the market, to our customers, especially in the new domains, also not limited to the known domains or verticals in the PMI industry. There are many more verticals which currently are not part of our PMI industry, and that we have fulfilled our transition to a company who is, let's say, acting as the SAP for the digitalization. It's not only the solution we need to provide, it's also to help customers to implement their digitalization. Yeah.
So that means you see yourself more and more like an integrator.
We are becoming more a system house and integrator, because the value add we can get from this kind of business is really heavily service focused and in every dimension.
And when we look in the Hytera group, there are companies who are supplying radios, there are companies supplying systems. Now you have your integrator part. So it all fits together, right? So NORSAT, the satellite organization, so that all fits in the umbrella.
Absolutely, but it's not limited to what can be provided by the Hytera group and the organization. It's also with third-party products. So this new technology means you have to adapt to many problems, and you will not have this full product portfolio you need to solve the problems from your own. So you have to purchase from third parties. You have to integrate this. You have, of course, like always, customers have existing systems and they want to make use of it. So you have to integrate existing systems into a new thing, a new umbrella thing. And this is what we have done for many years now. Also looking at this C2000 project, it's not only providing a TETRA system, it's a system of systems. So you have to adapt to many other different systems with their interfacing, and this is what we have a huge experience in. And the team to provide this kind of things to customers.
You've proven yourself.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.